Teaching children a moral, spiritual, and holistic approach to educational development. Written by El-Moslimany. Chapter 4: Unleashing the Power of Tawhid. IIIT Books in Brief series. Published by International Institute of Islamic Thought, IIIT. There is no God but God. This statement, so simple yet so profound, is the basis for everything that we as Muslims believe and how we are expected to live our lives. As teachers, it is incumbent upon us to build on this basic gift, providing the children in our care the framework for the Islamic way of life. As we plan our lessons, establish rules and traditions, relate to our students and staff, there must be a conscious effort to remember that we are obligated as Muslims to keep this concept of Tawhid as our guiding principle. We have been blessed with a comprehensive worldview that guides us to a vision of unity in which action is a part of faith, to a lifelong struggle against injustice and oppression. The belief in one God prescribes taqwa, God-centeredness. The mercy and compassion of God are mentioned in each surah of the Quran, and it is those attributes that should be stressed. Islam is best promoted through the wonder of God's creation and appreciation of His limitless love, kindness, and compassion, and the realization that He guides us through the Quran and to live the best possible lives for our own sakes. Quranic revelation is not ours alone, but a universal gift. 12 different times in the Quran, God specifically addresses the whole of humanity. Clearly, Allah loves all of His creation and is the God of everyone. Humanity is a rich mosaic of individuals, all from a common origin, but who became geographically separated to form distinct populations and cultures, superficially different but meant to know and learn from one another. Furthermore, there are numerous non-Muslim individuals and organizations striving for justice. Isolation can never provide the answer to the needs of Muslims in non-Muslim communities. There are allies, actual or potential. If we are meant to know one another, why, then, should we seclude our children within an Islamic school which stands in stark contrast to what children will be forced to experience later in their lives? Here's why. Children are fragile and easily influenced. When we put them into an alien environment, we do it with the understanding that they will sink or swim. Indeed, a child well grounded in his faith and with a strong personality may be empowered by his ability to stand up to negative encounters, but what is the effect on those who feel humiliated or who hide their faith in an attempt to fit in? Our primary purpose, however, must not be protection, rather preparation, preparing our children to be an integral, God-centered part of the greater society. It takes thoughtful planning and prayer to avoid the feeling of separation from the real world, and yet to give our children a strong background and understanding of how to live their Islam in a culture where many behavioral norms are contrary to our beliefs. We can only come to know others and have come to know us when we are accessible. There are two conditions that must be met to truly commit to the unity of humanity. We must struggle for diversity, and diversity does not require a struggle, by welcoming non-Muslim children and, at the very least, by including and celebrating Muslims of all colours, sects and ethnicities. Children need to see that even within Islam there is diversity. It is essential that the children entrusted to us learn to appreciate how much good exists beyond those who call themselves Muslim. History, biographies, and current events are replete with examples that anyone can learn and benefit from. Beyond this, there must be a conscious effort to provide opportunities for children in an Islamic school to interact with non-Muslim others. This could be through community service, partnership with other schools, participation in community events, etc. We must strive for an education that is socially just. A socially just education questions who benefits from conventional thinking and practices and how that came to be. It focuses on inequalities associated with race, class, language, gender, and looks to eliminate them. Unity of creation. And among his wonders is the creation of the heavens and the earth, and the diversity of your tongues and colours, for in this, behold, there are messages indeed for all who are possessed of innate knowledge. Quran 30:22. The oneness of God is reflected in his creation, a creation that is purposeful, integrated and highly ordered. The interconnectedness, the precision, the harmony of each component demonstrates the unity of the Almighty, who has created patterns that are maintained throughout time and space and beyond. Only one God could have created a universe that follows specific laws so consistently. The Creator, in his infinite wisdom, established a role for every entity that exists. Whether we look at the perfect meshing of the systems of the body, the mind-boggling structure of a single cell, the precision of an atom, or the order of our solar system, we cannot help but know that all of this is the result of a plan. Even more incredible is that each of these is connected in numerous ways to another. Nature is so much more than physical. Each of its wonders is an ayah, a sign of the one God. The unity of creation has its implications for all aspects of the curriculum, but becomes particularly important in the study of science-related materials, subjects that often are very fragmented. A science text is generally made up of a series of disjointed topics with little relationship to one another, other than they are all considered science. Each subject is quickly finished so that the class can move on to the next, robbing the children of the time it takes to see and appreciate the interconnections that bind Allah's creation into a marvelous whole. It takes time to think, contemplate, and wonder at the signs of God in the world.